Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's Belinda here. We are going to make some tags today in the whack and stack style. Now, if you haven't come across the whack and stack style, firstly, where have you been? Jokes aside, it's become pretty popular. I saw Gail Agostinelli do it, and a number of other creators have done it. I've done it before, but I need some tags, so I thought I'm going to revisit the technique and let's get into it. Let's show you what I'm using. So I'm using as my base coffee dyed paper. I have cut it to 3 inches by 7, just arbitrary. I could get 3-inch strips out of a sheet of A4 paper with like a 2.5 inch or something like that strip left over, so I can make more with the smaller ones. I have printed off 2 lots of pages. This is one lot. This is from Angela Kerr Designs. It's a garden story. This one's Angela Kerr. This is a garden story from the collaboration that happened a month or 2 ago. I can't actually quite remember. And then this set here, 5 pages, is also from the garden story by RachandBella Crafts. So I've just chosen out 5 of the background pages from each of the 2 kits, one by RachandBella Crafts and one by Angela Kerr Designs, who collaborated for these kits, to form my whack and stack tags. So I'm going to keep to the style. So RachandBella did more of a grungy take and Angela did more of a bright shabby take. So I'm going to, for this part, keep them to their sets. And let's grab out 5, so pre-cut to the same size. So 3 inches by 7 inches is what I'm working with. You can do whatever size. So 5 different papers and 5 background papers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have tried to keep them all the same size, but I don't know, my measurement's not so great because they're not exactly the same size. That's okay, we can work with it. Okay, so stacking up your 5 decorative bits of paper, and just start tearing, trying to hold them together. Actually, one thing I didn't grab out was paper clips, because they make it easier. They help things not shift around on you quite so much. So forgot the step. It's been a while since I've made them. So let's get some paper clips in place, and that will kind of make it life just a bit easier. So I'm putting plenty of paper clips on. I can always shift them around if needed. Right, let's go back again and do our first tier, which is across the top, like so. And then we do a middle section. So trying to give it some interesting shape. Could have been a bit more interesting. Okay, then we're left with 3 sections, and the top and the bottom we need to tear in 2. Oh gosh, it's quite thick. I'm only using copy paper, so not super thick, but definitely thick enough when you're ripping through 5 layers. They will shift on you, so they won't match up perfectly when you go to put them all together, and that's okay. Oh, come on. Getting that initial start is the hardest. Need to move that paper clip a little bit. Okay, so you should have 5 sections. And it doesn't matter where you tear it, you just tear it. So I'm going to lay out my 5 bases. Actually, I might glue on that side. It's got a little coffee residue that might make writing difficult, so I will use that as the glue side. So I'm just choosing which side I want to glue onto. Right, and this is a very methodical process. If you do it methodically, it's the easiest way to do it. Okay, so taking my top left hand corner, I'm going to lay them out on my bases. I'm treating this as if you've never seen it before, so my apologies if this is new and you're like, well, you're teaching me how to suck eggs, Belinda. It's like, well, that's okay. Right, so I'm going to take the top right hand now and I'm going to start on the second one, because we want to make sure that each one has a piece of the 5 different papers in the 5 different shapes. So work away across your bases, and then when you get to the end you wrap around to the first one. Now our big section in the middle, I perhaps made this section a little bit too big, but that's okay. So starting in the third one this time, and then back to the start. Oh, that paper's upside down. Never mind. I can glue them down and then I can turn them around, like it's not a big deal. Okay, so now the bottom left. So we're starting on tag number 4. How are these so much longer? Like that is huge amount longer than my papers. How did that happen? I'm going to have to do some trimming, obviously. That's weird why they're so far off. I don't quite understand how that happened. In fact, things aren't matching up. This is turning out interesting. Hopefully it all come together, because I don't think I've got a... Did I turn those upside down? Are they actually meant to go this way? No, that doesn't work either. I don't know. It's going wrong, people. It's going wrong. Or is that supposed to... Gosh, I'm a silly Billy. So this is actually the bottom right hand corner. Let's just turn it around so it actually fits. Oh my gosh, we started off well, but then we kind of lost the plot. Okay, and this one is now the bottom right. So we start on the last tag and then right back to the beginning. That's better. Now they actually fit. My goodness. Yeah, so this, most of the papers it doesn't actually matter, except this one where it has some text on it. So I'll need to actually flip these around, but I will go ahead and do all the gluing and everything. Now I do like to distress the edges. I don't think I want to put you through inking all of them, so I'm going to ink a couple and do the rest uninked, and we can look at the difference and you can see which you prefer. So I'm only going to ink the inside edges. I can do the outside edges afterwards. So you can choose, yeah, whether you prefer the inked look or the uninked look, and that might guide you in the approach that you would like to take, your preference. Because I think sometimes, even if we don't like the process of inking or whatever it is, if we like the result, then it's worth just doing it anyway. That's my theory, my belief. Sometimes it's the end goal that we need to keep a focus on. if you're not happy with the end result because you don't take the time to do something you don't like, but you prefer it if you do it, then it kind of tells you something. So I'm just going to ink around these first 2 tags, and we'll do 3 uninked. I'm being very generous leaving 3 uninked, but conscious I don't want to bore you all to death with endless inking. So I'm hoping to get at least 10 done today, and then do some decorating. I do have the rest of the papers if we get through that, being optimistic here. Anyway, I haven't even asked you how you are today. So, my friends, what are you up to? Are you well? I hope you are well. I hope you are happy. I hope you've got time for crafting today or this week. Whatever your schedule allows, I hope that you get some good creative time. Right, so I'm just going to carefully move these 3 up, just so I've got some room to move here. And we'll start with these 2 inked ones. Grab out my glue pages. I think I'll grab a new glue page, or at least turn this one over. Oh, have I got enough glue stick? Right, now it helps on these if you start top or bottom and then work your way. I'm going to actually start at the bottom. You can start at the top or the bottom, just as long as you follow, oh, gouging up my glue stick. Follow that. Once you start at one end, you continue so that you can adjust the spacing and make it work, because there will be gaps where the paper's moved, and that's okay. Don't panic about that. You can add some ink if you like. In my case, I have the beautiful coffee dyed paper, so it's not going to be a problem if they're with those gaps. I will just leave the paper peeking through. But if you use something that's maybe white or a book page or something in behind, you might want to add a little bit of ink in between just to disguise. This bit, I think that's already getting too inky. Going to go through a few glue pages here. Right, just making sure I get it the right way. So I am recording this on Tuesday in order to have it go up on Thursday, because I will be out on Thursday. I'll be doing the grocery shopping on Thursday. Normally do it on a Friday, but because I'm tied up with my mum and mum-in-law on Friday, during this period of running around, I am doing the groceries on Thursday. So it just means 2 days out in a row, which makes filming a little bit more pressured, getting everything done that I need to in just 3 days, in the Monday to Wednesday. Okay, in this case, my top layers are actually slightly longer than my base, so I will just need to trim a bit off the base. Off the bottom of my top layer to make it all line up nicely. Oh, sticking to everything. Oops. A little bit straighter on the edge would be nice. There we go. So in this case, I will flip it round because the text is this way up. So rather than the way I composed it, it will actually sit like that. Just going to trim up the overhang. And a little bit on the side. Right, that's the first one done. I love the distressing on the edges. I just think it just adds something to it. Also, what was I going to say? That thought ran away. I had two thoughts at once and could only speak one of them, and the other one ran away while I was talking. But don't these papers coordinate so beautifully together? They're just fabulous papers and lend themselves to so many different projects. And like these go together, you don't even have to try to match them up and make them look good. They just do look good together. Beauty of a digital kit and a great designer, or designers in this case, and the two kits. So the links will be in the description box for these kits. If you haven't yet got them or haven't yet seen them, pop along and have a look. There are, as I said, two designers, so there'll be two different shops to visit. I don't know if the link tree that they were using is still working. I imagine it is, so it might just be a link tree that will take you to all the bits and pieces and all the playlist for the collaboration that used these kits. I've got a video in that collaboration as well. I was on one of the last days. Was it 13th of April? Was it that long ago? That kind of rings a bell. It seems like a very long time ago now. I guess it is, since we're into May. Just fun. Really love this technique. I don't know why I haven't actually done it since my last video, because it's so effective and it makes collaging easy, because you don't really need to think about anything apart from getting your sizing relatively right, approximately right, shall we say, and just tear your paper and then just put it back together again. Super easy. Great one if you're not sure on collage, or if you find it difficult and you don't like the way it looks. If you collage and you're just like, well, it doesn't look very good, this makes it really easy and achievable for absolutely anybody. Right, so again, I'm going to flip it around that way because that text goes that way. So they're the two inked ones. Let's get on to now the uninked ones and do a wee comparison. Switch out my glue page again. So I still need to shape them into the tag shape. Gosh, I feel like there's a draft around my legs. Don't know where that's coming from. It was so cold yesterday. Today is not quite as cold because it's raining. We desperately need the rain, and I thought that we would get it yesterday, but no, it was just grey, dismal, freezing. But today it's just that tad little bit warmer because it's raining, and so need that rain. It's good. We could do with a bit of warmth after it though, to help with the growth, because the farmers are struggling because it's drought conditions really. We have had so little rain, and yet some parts of the country have had too much rain and had flooding and slips and things. So it's just like from one side of the country to the other, it varies so much in weather patterns. Some have too little of something and the others have too much of it. Yeah, that goes. Make sure I get it the right way around that way. pretty papers. And that one goes that way. Ooh, whoops, getting carried away on the glue. I should have gone quiet. Don't know what to say. Run out of things to say already. So already we can see the difference. Make sure they're up the right way. So just based on that, what do you prefer? Uninked or inked? I know which I prefer, but there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is still beautiful. I just prefer the inking. Personal preference. But that gives you some idea of what you might want to do with yours if you make some. Right, so we've got 2 more to put together of these papers. So let's get these done. And then do I do some decorating and then do the next lot, or do I put the next lot together and then do some decorating? That is the question of the hour. I'm not sure what I intended to do, all the tags and then do the decorating, but I suspect we'll run out of time if I do that, and that we won't get to do any decorating, because you know, it takes me ages to do anything. But I just like hanging out with you, my friends, having a chit chat. Mostly. Sometimes I get a bit quiet, and I think more so lately just because I've been tired, so I kind of run out of steam on the old chit chat. But company, you're keeping me company, and I guess I'm keeping you company. I hope so. And they do come together quite quickly. Once you've got everything cut out, it's just like bang, bang, bang. So I have got a bit of a gap there with coffee dyed paper showing through, which is fine. It's a lighter coffee dyeing, this one. I've been doing a big batch of coffee dyeing now that we've got the fire going every day. And I've also been doing beetroot dyeing, which my first efforts with beetroot dyeing were very disappointing. I've got quite a big gap there actually, and that's where I would have preferred if it was inked, because that wouldn't show. But that's alright, we can still add some ink even though the edges aren't inked on everything. But for now we'll just, yep, text shows on that one, so we'll pop it up the right way. What was I saying? I keep interrupting myself. Coffee dyeing, beetroot dyeing, that's right. My first efforts beetroot dyeing I wasn't happy with. They turned out so insipid. This was a few years back. And then just recently I was cooking up some beetroot for our dinner, and I thought I'd try a different method. And I tried it, and I absolutely love the results. And I'm using a solution of beetroot and coffee together, which just gives it a really lovely, sometimes the beetroot's more prominent, sometimes the coffee comes out a bit more. It's varied, it's interesting, it's pretty, and some of the pinks that I'm getting, so almost luminous, absolutely stunning. So I've done a big stack of coffee dyeing, and I've done an even bigger stack of beetroot and coffee dyeing, and I've still got some solution left, so I need to do some more. I even went out and bought a beetroot specifically for dyeing with, because I'd used the first batch I did a couple of weeks ago I'd already used it all up, so it's like I went and bought a beetroot just for dyeing. Just one little beetroot in the groceries. So that was, what, a couple of weeks ago now. So maybe I'll pick up another beetroot in this week's groceries so I can do more, because I'm just in love with the results. And as I go along, I'm experimenting more. So trying different things with it. And yeah, just super happy with the results. I'm thinking about selling some packs of beetroot dyed paper. So if I do, I will be showing them on camera, because really just super, super pretty. Right, to avoid the gap, I'm going to match it up down here, and then I'll trim off the end where it's not lined up or showing the backing paper. Okay, this is the last one of this group of 5. Right, lid on glue stick. Not much left in that glue stick. Let's just trim off this little bit at the top. Oops, it's stuck because the glue's wet. It's stuck in my guillotine. Here we go. A bit on the edge there, and there. Okay, so that one goes up that way, I think. So these flowers are actually upside down now. No, it does go up that way. There wasn't enough of the text to really show, which tells me it doesn't matter. But that flower in the middle certainly looks better this way up. Okay, so they do need a bit of flattening out because of all that glue stick in there. But they will flatten out under a heavy book or something. So let's do them into a tag shape. So I'm going to cut the first one this way, flipping the corner over, lining it up, and this achieves the same angle on your corners so that they kind of match on both sides. And now that I've done that, I can go through and do that, use it as a template to cut the rest. Always using that first one as the template so that it doesn't alter, like Chinese whispers. If you use the new one to make the cut on the next one and then keep doing that, you'll end up with the last one being quite different to the first. Good old Chinese whispers. I haven't played that, probably for a couple of decades. Hubby and I used to run a youth evening on a Friday night for the local community. Well, actually community of Waipara, not the community I live in, although we took some kids up from Amberley, but it was mostly Waipara, which is more like a village. It's a small wee township, and ran a youth games evening every Friday night. And sometimes we'd play a game that was very similar to Chinese whispers, but it had a few other different aspects to it, and they'd stand in lines and have to pass the whatever it was, the phrase or that from the beginning of the line to the back. Always fun, but haven't done it since then. So all we need to do now is ink around them and decorate them up. So I reckon we go ahead and decorate. Otherwise we're going to run out of time, I believe. And then we can make some more if we've still got time. So I'm going to ink around this one and one of the ones that's not inked on the edges, again, so you can see the difference, and then the rest of the inking I will do off camera. So that one's fully inked, inside edges and outside, and shall we do this one? This one's not inked on the inside, so it's just going to be inked on the outside. Didn't think about whether I wanted to round the bottom corners or take a wee chink off them. I can do that even though it's inked, just re-ink. I'm not going to take the time right now to ink the backs, but I will do that off camera as well. So again, there's inked around the edges with the internal inking or without the internal inking, or the completely non-distressed version. So different looks. And then this is the one that's inked on the inside but not yet inked on the outside, so that's like a fourth option. Customizable in so many ways, guys, and you can mix it up according to how you feel on the day. Right, decorating. I have my fussy cuts from the kits. Lots of goodies to work with. It just keeps on coming. Look at it. All this beautiful goodness to work with. Right, so I'm not going to use the tags. There's ephemera and fussy cuts all in here, so let's get rid of some of the tags and other bits and pieces that we won't be using. Pockets, I probably should have separated them out, but you know, I didn't. Another tag, pockets. Just really want the fussy cuts and that type of ephemera. I think that's okay. We can dig through. Oh no, some bigger pieces at the back here. Let's eliminate those from the pile. Right, that'll do. Put them over to the side here so we can dig through and find something we want to decorate with. So this is a mixture. This big pile is a mixture between the two kits from RachandBella Crafts and Kerr Designs, and I can't tell you which is which. Basically, there's a tag. Oh, that one's already backed. That's pretty. Let's do that one there. Let's try kind of mass make. It's got a white edge on it. I don't want that white edge. Pretty. Okay, what about something with shape that's not rectangle? Oh, more tags. More tags. It's going to be too big. Shame, it's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, but too big. Oh, more pockets. Oh, look at the squirrel. Isn't this squirrel so cute? He might look good on one. But I'm hoping for something with a bit more shape. Oh, look at these boots with flowers in. I think we can do something with that. Needs a bit of layering, but we can do that. Oh, that's pretty. Can do something with that. And a stack of books with would we rather put that on there? This brings in some pinks, which aren't in any of the papers that I've used in the background. Might want to do that one there and maybe the pink on that one, unless we find gardeners know all the dirt. Oh, I like that one better on there. Okay. Oh, look, birdie. Birdie. Maybe we want to put that one with there. We've got some fun labels and bits and pieces. So we'll start with what we've got here. We're not going to use squirrel, I don't think. Just looking at placement. I think something like that. Let's ink around it. I'm thinking about layering it up. Actually, do I want a bit of doily? That might be pretty. I was thinking book page, and that's then into my head popped the idea of doily, so maybe we'll check that out first. Sorry for the squeaky chair. This little bit, little offcut. I'm going to take it down a little bit. Oh, I like that. Do I want to distress around it? Yeah, let's. Not that easy to distress around. Be very careful and don't tear it. Just putting it against my finger, so my finger's going to end up inked as well, but it just gives it a bit of stability as I'm pressing it with the brush. Okay, and I do prefer to tacky glue doilies. Saves my glue stick, my sanity, and the doily from tearing. Oops, come on glue, come out. Why are you suddenly blocked? You're not coming out very well. You started off okay. Got a little blockage there. Hopefully I got it. Come on, you can do it, glue. I'm having to press way harder than what should be required. I must have a little clump blocking the nozzle. Probably because I left the lid off too long at some point. Right along that edge. Lifting there. Don't want it to get damage going in and out of pockets, so just making sure particularly those leading parts are nicely secured. And that can go there. Gosh, I'm sorry guys, I've gone so quiet. I recorded 3 videos yesterday and I'm hoping to get 3 done today. I don't have to get 3 done today. If I get 2 done, that will be good. And I've got to go out this afternoon for an hour or so. But yeah, I'm already flagging and this is only my first video for the day. Not a good sign. Right, do we want to add... Oh, that's cute. But would we rather have a little butterfly? Right, mushrooms are too focal. Candle, that's cute. Little candle. No, not the candle. It's cute, but not on this. I'm kind of going with the butterfly. No, not that. Little lantern. That's cute too, but not feeling it. We could also put one of these wee tabs on the top. Oh, I like that. Let's do that. The little whale tails that come in one of the kits. Not sure now whether it's Rachel's one or Angela's one. It's one of them. Sorry, I can't be any more specific, but really if you want to invest in these kits, they are beautiful. And really, if you're going to buy one, I would advise buying them all because they just work together beautifully and yet are usable for so many different purposes. Good basic supplies in amongst them for all your crafting needs, as most of the kits are, to be fair. Particularly the good designers like RachandBella Crafts, the Junk Journal Studio, Angela Kerr, you know, their kits are designed so you can take parts and use them in lots of other ways with other styles. And I hope mine are too, my own kits, but I don't know, that's my intention, but I don't know whether it translates or not. Okay, pop that up there because that's fun. It's very curly, but it will right itself. So did we want to go with the butterfly? There is a slightly bigger butterfly here. Up the top there, I think. And then maybe a word. Yep, decorating definitely takes me the longest, doesn't it? I think you'd agree with that. I love the process. Fluffing around, trying to decide what I like the best. Why rush the pleasure? There. And I'm thinking of a stamped word to go with it. You're one of a kind, but there's two flowers, so I don't feel like that fits. Don't want a vertical one. A good laugh is like sunshine in nature. That's really nice there. Let's do that one. It's on coffee dyed paper, but I'm still going to distress the edges a little bit. Frame it out. Half an hour till lunchtime. What's for my lunch today? I have leftovers of nacho mince, just a little bit, and some veggies. So that should be quite tasty. Nice hot lunch for a cold day. That one is done. Needs distressing on the back, but apart from that is done. Okay, let's grab this one. This one I think does need a bit of book page. Maybe some numbers. Oops. not sure that it's the right shaped scrap of book page. No, I don't like it. What about on this one? That one works better for me, so let's switch and do this one. We'll just have to find a different bit of book page for the other one. Oh, there goes the fire alarm. Hopefully nothing too serious. You know, sometimes you just hope that things are a false alarm. Because here, you know, either means it's a car accident or a fire. And neither of those options is great. And given the weather, I would say quite possibly more a car accident. Somebody not driving to the conditions of the wet weather or visibility being an issue. Keep everyone safe. Responders and people who are in whatever incident is going on. Need a bit of paper on the back. Grab out my discarded glue pages. Oops, and then I bent it. Never mind, it will glue down flat. The first responders do such a fabulous job, don't they? I don't care what country you're in, they do amazing work and are required to do things that most of us, you know, would not like, would make us feel sick. I think they do a fabulous job, and here in New Zealand they operate on volunteers, so there are some paid firefighters, particularly in the cities, and there are a few paid like paramedics for the ambulance, but most of them are volunteers. Most of the firefighters and most of the first responders on ambulance and that are volunteers. So I wish it was different. I wish they could all be paid because they deserve it. No, not that. That little ticket. How about some numbers? I know we've got numbers. Maybe that's why I'm thinking numbers, because it's like, no, I need bigger numbers. Give me the bigger numbers. Like, that's totally the wrong colour, which is a shame because I like the shape of it. But it's, yeah, it's the wrong colour. Maybe I need something longer. I like that there. So I'm going to chop a little bit off. My husband used to work on the ambulance for a few years back in, was it 2000? Or a little after that, I can't quite remember. And then he left and then did a stint where he was teaching the youth. St John's is our ambulance service here in New Zealand. he was teaching the youth who were up and coming, you know, interested in ambulance work, or just did it as an extra, almost like extra credit, but an interest thing, you know, learning good skills on how to save their own lives, how to save other people's lives, what to do in an emergency. Good skills, even if they never go into ambulance line of work. But a number of them did, either as volunteers or going on to have careers in that line of work, which are very few and far between here in New Zealand. But yeah, he quite enjoyed teaching the youth. Did it for I think he did it while the person was away on maternity leave, I think. He stepped up and did it for, I'm sure it was over a year. And then she came back, so he stepped away again. Right, feel like I need something up here as well. I want to use one of these tickets. No, not that one. I'm playing here, people. In case you didn't notice, I'm just, you know, playing. No, I don't think I want another floral because we've got the floral here. Got some round people. No, it's not. Do we want a word? Maybe we want a word. Yep, and I think I'm going to give it crunchy scissor outline. This is on coffee dyed cardstock. So it's quite dark on that side. Right. Oops. A bit more ink in order. I have no idea how long I've been filming for. I have a feeling we might be getting close, and I haven't even finished decorating these 5 tags, let alone started on the next 5 that I prepared. So I will put this on, get this one done, and have a wee check on time, see how we're doing. They all need to be put under something heavy like my mat. Not that my mat's heavy, but you know, something that will help flatten them out. So we have been going almost an hour. Yeah, have we got time to do one more? Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, there go the sirens. Wonder about a bit of book page under that, or a bit of music. Look, I grabbed out some more music. I remembered. Thank you, Lisa. It's only because Lisa reminded me to do it. Oops, avalanche. Everything just fell over. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. And so now I can't move my chair because things fell over behind my chair. Now I can't move backwards. So I'm going to be bending over backwards to try and pick everything up. I'm not going to distress around this. I think it would be lovely, but I'm conscious of time, and just, it won't matter if I don't, you know. It'll look lovely, but it will look lovely without it. go. We'll ink around this though. So I will finish off the other two in the set off camera, and they will be on Instagram when the video goes up. I'll have the photos of all the 5 tags, and we didn't get to the other 5. But that's all right. You get the gist. You've hung out with me, kept me company. We've created some fun tags to put in my stash because I am quite low on tags. Always seem to be low on tags. I don't know what's up with that, but never mind. Just have to make more, don't we? Oh dear, how sad. We've got to make tags. It's not really a problem, is it? An excuse to make more fun things. Okay, I put that quite low down on the tag, and I think it's straight. Just going to re-ink that edge now, like that. Do we want the birds and the bees? There's some lovely words. Keep growing. That's nice. I like that. Probably can't tell on the camera, but the border around this is green gingham. We're covering over that flower, but you know, you've got to lose a few bits here and there. And do we want to add a butterfly? Let's give it a look and see. I've been centering a lot lately, well today. Is there another wee butterfly? Bird. Oh, there's a little daffodil. Oh, I like the daffodil actually. Let's do the daffodil. I think this is more a soldier or a jonquil rather than a daffodil, but we tend to call them all daffodils, don't we? It's just easier than their technical terms. But I do believe this is more of either a jonquil or a soldier. They're the smaller ones. They're not, you know, not the biggest size of a daffodil, and come in different colours, as do daffodils. Daffodils come in different colours, orange through to white. There, that is cute. One last final consideration is whether I want a wee number on there somewhere. Kind of like that, just not sure on the colour. We could find a better colour option. That one. I like that one. It's on brown paper, so I don't know if the distressing is going to make much difference, but give it a quick wee brush round. I just like the way this little element balances the composition. So we've got sort of a diagonal happening. Kind of. There we go. So we got 3 decorated. Not too bad, I guess. Fun. Just really, really fun. So we have this one with the fun gumboots with the flowers. This one, the wee butterfly at the top. And this one, all in need of flattening out. And then I've got these 2 bases here, which I will finish up and you'll see those on Instagram if you're on Instagram. There we go, and I've still got 5 more to make, so I can make those off camera with these beautiful papers. Just absolutely stunning papers, like all of them are so pretty. So just to give you an idea of what the papers are for the other 5 that I'd chosen out. Aren't they pretty? And these are from Kerr, and these ones that I used here, the base papers, are from RachandBella Crafts. Okay guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for keeping me company while I just relaxed and crafted away. Have a fabulous day. Take care everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.